G'day and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to show you some things that you can do to help improve that ankle impingement. More specifically, we're going to talk about an anterior ankle impingement, or a joint that feels like it jams up at the front. But if you have an impingement at the back of the ankle or somewhere else, a lot of these principles will still apply. But there's just obviously a little bit of nuance that will direct more towards an impingement at the front of the ankle in this video. So if you have pain at the front of the ankle, you've tried a bunch of things and they haven't really worked for you yet, I'm hopeful that the perspective that I'll show you in this video will be the thing that you were missing. So let's get into it. My name's Grant Frost and I'm an Australian musculoskeletal physiotherapist who is really passionate about trying to figure out the root underlying causes of all the common aches, pains, injuries and dysfunctions that I see day to day as a physio. And when we turn our attention to an anterior ankle joint impingement, I think one of the common misconceptions potentially about that impingement is that 100% of it is just due to bony irregularity. Perhaps you've had an ankle injury or some trauma, and perhaps a part of the bone started to grow a little bit more at the front of the ankle, which as you close down the front of the ankle, it impinges, it jams up, it gets irritated, annoyed, and becomes dysfunctional. And while that may be partially the case for a lot of people, especially those people who are considering injections and surgeries and things like that, regardless of what part of that spectrum that you're on, the overwhelming majority of people with an anterior ankle joint impingement do have some mechanical dysfunction that you may be able to improve how the joint moves, how the front of that joint interacts, and ultimately how it may feel and function going forwards. So whatever part of that spectrum that you are on, whether it's 100% mechanical or whether it's a decent amount structural, we may not necessarily know which specific category you fit into until we try and clear away as much of that mechanical dysfunction as possible and then see what's left over. And I know for me, clinically as a physio, what I find is that so many people do actually fit more in the mechanical aspect, more so than the structural aspect. But obviously it's not for me to tell you where you are. The best way to do this is to base things on results. Give the exercises a go that we're about to go through. We're going to focus on some capsular restrictions. We're going to focus on some soft tissue restrictions. So let's touch on the first exercise, which is the banded ankle stretch that goes after the deep joint capsule of the ankle. So I would argue that the most important thing to explore for anyone with an ankle impingement is to figure out what your ankle joint capsule is doing. The idea with this is your ankle joint is surrounded by like a stiff, thick wrap. It's ligament, it's fibrous, it's essentially a tough structure that encapsulates the joint. And for a lot of people, if there is a restriction in your ankle joint at the back, as you go to bend your ankle forwards, you might find that as there's less ability to open at the back, the front is more likely to jam up. So having an exercise that you can use to explore how your ankle joint capsule is moving is vital to understand what may actually be contributing to things jamming up at the front. But before we get to the banded ankle stretch, which we're about to do, we need to know whether this exercise is genuinely helping you in any way to make sure that it's meaningful, because we don't want to waste your time on things that don't actually work. And I found the best way to structure this, the best way to be results-based, is to find a movement or an activity that alerts you to how your anterior ankle symptoms feel. That could be something as simple as a squat, a lunge, it could be the knee to wall test, it could be hopping, it could be jumping. Do that first. Take note of exactly how it feels, because once we've done this banded ankle stretch, we're going to immediately do that again to see if anything has genuinely changed. So for me, for example, my ankle tends to get a little bit tight, so I'm going to do just a basic squat to get down as deep as I feel I can, just to get a general sense. I feel the right side's fine, my left side feels a little bit sort of tight at the front. So what I'd like you to do is to take the band. You can have the band immediately above your ankle bone. You can have the band immediately below your ankle bone. Try both. See which one you feel gives you the best access to that tightness at the back and ultimately improves your symptoms the most. I'm going to take a step out as far as I can with the band pulling directly back. I want you to bend your back ankle as far as you feel comfortable without letting your knee cave in. We want to make sure that we keep that knee out with your big toe staying on the ground, so we're not lifting your foot up. But we're keeping your foot straight, knee comes out, and we're trying to bend and flex that ankle through the plane that starts to free up that tissue at the back. You can hang out at the end of your range in this position for a minute or two, depending on how it feels for you. We're looking for some gentle pressure at the back of that ankle joint. And then as it starts to give, what you should find is once you've done that, immediately come back, Pop down into your squat again, and for me it feels like I can close that ankle down that little bit better than I could before. It feels a little bit lighter and a little bit looser than it did before, with less of that jamming feeling at the front. Because once you've done that, the next thing we want to get you to do is the exact same idea, except we're going to do this in the other direction. So this time we want your foot pointing the other way, or come out this way so you can see. So this time we're going to go into more of a plantar flexed position. If you can curl your toes, plant them on the ground, and again, let the band open up the front of your ankle joint. You can sort of turn your ankle from side to side to get a sense of which sort of part of that joint feels the most restricted. For me, it's probably in this direction, same deal. You can gently oscillate in and out of that range. You can leave it here, let the band open it up for you. And then again, do the same thing that you did before. See how you feel getting down there. And interestingly for me, I now feel like I can get down deeper, and I don't have as much of that sort of tightness at the front of my ankle as I'm closing it down, because I just spent 15 to 20 seconds opening up the front of that joint so that it becomes easier to close it down, if that makes sense. But if you are struggling with anterior ankle joint impingement, I would urge you to go hunting around that joint front and back to see if there's any sort of hidden restrictions there that might be contributing to your symptoms. Your test and retest will tell you whether it is or not. And then let me know in the comments down below what that banded ankle joint stretch did for you. Because once you start working on the deeper capsular joint restrictions that have more of an immediate impact on how that joint functions, we can then start to look a little bit more superficially through the soft tissues as well. And like we did with the banded ankle stretch, we're going to start at the back of the ankle, grab a foam roller, you can use a rolling pin, you can use anything that you feel gives you enough pressure through the back of that ankle. And how I'd like you to do this is place sort of the bottom half of your leg on the foam roller. So for me, I'm gonna start right down the bottom, kind of just above the bumps at the bottom there. I don't necessarily want you to roll. That doesn't really do as much as we would like. We have better techniques. Instead, definitely roll to a point that you can find something that feels a little bit restricted. So for me, the back of my ankle there feels a little bit tight. If I roll a little bit more towards the left, this feels pretty tight. You can just hang out here. You can trigger point those areas for 30 seconds. Take a couple of deep breaths just so that your nervous system knows that this is safe. It doesn't have to be threatened and protective. It can start to relax and soothe a little bit more. Keep that spot there. And then because we're trying to improve how your ankle bends, keeping the pressure on there, start bending your ankle. What you'll find really quickly is as we're sort of threading this tissue through the roller, it's going to start to feel a little bit looser and looser. So then I'm going to hunt around again. I'm going to come down a little bit lower, out to the side a little bit more. That feels a little bit juicier. Make sure that I'm breathing. I'm going to incorporate some ankle bending to free that up. So essentially all you're doing is down towards the base of that ankle. We're looking around the sides, around the back, and sort of more on the inside for anything that you feel is tight, tender, and restricted. You can put as much body weight through this as you feel comfortable. I do like to have my other foot on there just to put a bit more pressure through it. It just feels like it helps me get into this tissue at the level that I need. You can lift your body weight up a little bit more if you want to by taking more of the weight on your hands, again, to increase the load that goes through there. But the technique is the same. Bend and flex, make some circles, do whatever movements that you feel you need to do that help you feel like that tissue starts to free up. You can try and tense up that muscle for 5 to 10 seconds. This is that PNF, contract relax technique, where it creates a reflex that once you've tensed it and then you relax, that tissue will give a little bit, which means that it might be a little bit less tender, and also that you can put more pressure through it again before tensing it up again and then relaxing and then sinking in a little bit deeper. And again, if you can scour all the way through these tissues, and then once you've done that, immediately stand up again. Same thing for me. If I drop down into a squat again, all of a sudden it just feels a fair bit looser through the back, and it doesn't feel as much pressure through the front of my ankle. But again, you'll know exactly what the work that you've put in will do by consistently testing and retesting the same thing. And also, like we did with the banded ankle stretch, we don't want to neglect any of the tissue that runs down the front of that ankle. Yes, the jamming can happen there, but if there is a tightness at the front there, it can just get in the way of normal basic ankle flexion. And while you can certainly do this with a foam roller, sometimes a ball or like a peanut, which is 2 of them, definitely a half roller can be nice. We want to go looking through all the tissue through the front of the ankle to see if that is also contributing to those symptoms. So how that might look for you. If you feel comfortable getting down onto your hands and knees, you can. If not, there's other ways we can do this, but to start with, just take the ball, place it through the front of your shin, have a decent amount of pressure on your hands just because sometimes this can be a little bit tender, and then just hunt around for anything down the outside of that ankle. Again, the closer to the joint, the better. Anything that feels a little bit tight or restricted. For me, there's a kind of a juicy spot right there. Same thing again, we just want to pin that down. You can tense that tissue, squeeze it as much as you can for 5 seconds. It'll give. It feels softer, less tender as it did before. The other thing you can do again is you can find that tight spot and then you can gently bend and flex that foot to again shear that tissue past the ball. Give it a chance to free up. Again, it's freeing up nicely for me. I can move it on to the next spot, which is kind of there. I can start repeating that same process. I'm just starting to free that up a little bit more and more and more. The other version of this, if this doesn't feel appropriate for you, is that you can just get your fingers into those areas. Get some cream out, sit down on the ground, sit down in a way, get down to your foot, and just try and hunt around through those tight spots for anything that feels restricted. Spend time trying to free that up, massage that tissue away, and then again, immediately stand up, do the same test and retest that we've been doing to see if anything feels like it magically changes. To you, we need to make sure that you genuinely feel a little bit different. So please let me know in the comments down below how you felt you went. Because if you do find that freeing up the capsule and the surrounding soft tissue does genuinely improve how that impingement feels, there's one last thing we need to talk about, and that's why is your ankle and the surrounding tissues, why has it become restricted in the first place? So when we're trying to understand what causes things to get stiff, tight, and restricted, we're ultimately looking at the conversation of what do you do with your feet and ankles that are normal, and what do you do with them that are abnormal? A lot of the symptoms that we're trying to get through are often the legacy of the modern world, more particularly the types of shoes that you wear. Ultimately, what we're looking at for most people is that if you have a shoe that has a thick heel at the back, where the heel's elevated above the toe, that heel raise is essentially the amount of ankle range that you don't get access to while you're wearing those shoes. And for the most part, when you don't use the end of your range, we tend to lose that over time. Perhaps the single biggest reason why people's ankles become restricted is often because they're in heeled shoes. Kids' school shoes, most runners, business shoes, and we're not even talking about your traditional ladies' heel. Any shoe where the heel at the back raises you up above the front has the potential to stiffen up your ankles over time. Obviously, we have invented shoes. Our natural state is essentially barefoot. Our feet have all the heel that they need to begin with. But if you take a look at your closet and you see that the majority of the shoes that you wear, or at least the ones that you wear the most often, do have a heel in them, as you start to free up your ankle and hopefully see that your symptoms get better, you may need to find shoes that start to flatten out a little bit more so that you don't keep asking those tissues to stiffen. One of the other types of footwears that can really do a number on the health and function of our ankles are thongs or flip-flops. As soon as we have to hold on to the shoe with our foot, it changes our entire leg mechanics, short circuits the arch, and can ultimately lead to the ankle joint becoming more restricted. Being barefoot more often where appropriate and socially acceptable may be a strategy that you can employ. Even changing out those convenient, comfortable flip-flops for more of like a sandal or something that self-secures, that might also be an option. And then as we move away from footwear a little bit more, the third most common reason that ankles tend to become stiff is often because we tend to sit in positions that keep our ankles in the same shape for hours and hours and hours every day. If you're like most people and you sit at a desk, you sit at a computer, you play an instrument, you do arts and crafts, and your feet are always at the same angle all the time, and you never really explore the depths of that ankle range through movement or use, then again, naturally, the outer edges of your ankle range may start to come in because you haven't necessarily told your body that you prioritize that. So as we always say on the channel, if you are finding that the banded ankle stretch variations and using a ball or a roller on the soft tissue genuinely helps those symptoms, we still need to pair up that good mobility work with trying to change the environmental things that may have asked those dysfunctions to be there. Less heeled shoes, less thongs, more movement and less sitting. Because if you do one without the other, you may not necessarily have a sustainable long-term pathway out of this dysfunction. So as always, I genuinely hope that that was helpful. I hope that perspective was a little bit different to what you've heard before and therefore more helpful than other things that you've heard. If it was, please let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Please hit the hype button if you'd like this video to get out to more people. If you are struggling with an ankle impingement and you would like me to help you with that, I do online consultations where we can get on a call, take all the information that you have and try and figure out why it's there, why it's not going away, and what you need to do to dig yourself out of that hole long term. But as always, I do genuinely hope that that helped, and hope to see you next time.